The San Francisco 49ers fall to 2-3 after a close one, losing to the Cardinals 24-23. Man, I'll tell you, I didn't anticipate sitting here at week 5 and saying that the 49ers are just 2-3. The type of roster that we talked up preseason, the type of defense that we said that they were going to have, the type of offense with all these star players around, all of it has kind of fell completely apart. Now, I don't know if there's some kind of weird, like, hex put on the 49ers or something. I don't know what's going on with them, but one thing I do know is that they're winning games that they're losing games that they should not be losing. They should be winning some of these games. The games that, it's the Cardinals. The Cardinals, Tristan, they come in, they beat the 49ers, and I know that the score was really close, but I still feel like just downfield passes and stuff, the Cardinals kind of handled their own against the 49ers today.
They absolutely did. 100%.
So what do you think the problem is with the 49ers? Tell me, because I don't know what it is.
I'm not worried, actually. I'm really not worried because the loss
because Brandon Ayuk showed up today?
Well, that was nice. 147 yards, finally. Finally, Brandon Ayuk knocked the rest off. Hey, that preseason window, we're telling you, man, after 4 weeks, teams started to get together. Here's the thing.
Jordan Mason fell off the face of the earth, but whatever.
No, he played good. He had 89 yards, man. I mean, he was solid.
Yeah, it didn't translate to fantasy points, though.
They think they're getting Christian McCaffrey back. I'm not sold on that. I have no clue. It seems like we hear one thing one week and another the next. Regardless, I think either way they're okay. Because if you watch this game, it was really just a couple 49ers mistakes that piled on at the end. Now, we know Arizona is a talented team, a frisky team, and also division rivals. We know that teams can lose to worse teams in their division because they know them better than anybody else. San Francisco played really good in the first half. They blocked an Arizona field goal, returned it for a touchdown. Bosa intercepted Murray once, which led to another field goal before halftime. 49ers had the lead, 23-10 before halftime, Ryan. It felt like they were in control. And then it was just a couple mistakes. That's it. It's nothing egregious. It was Purdy throwing an interception on the first drive of the third quarter off a tipped ball. It wasn't like a terrible pass. It got tipped and a guy made a crazy pick. Jake Moody got hurt and left this game in the second quarter. So that affected what the 49ers could do. They were in at least one situation, if not multiple, where they could have normally kicked a field goal, but they didn't because Moody got hurt. Okay? So that kind of thing happens. Also, Jordan Mason, he fumbled in the red zone when they were about to go up 2 scores with 6 minutes left in the game. So Mason fumbles, your kicker gets hurt, you get interceptions off tip ball, and then on the last drive, San Francisco has the ball with like 1:50 remaining, driving to go win. Purdy got hammered when he was releasing the ball, and it was an interception. Also, you had Kyler Murray convert that crazy 4th down pass to Marvin Harrison, where
Insane.
He's going backwards 20 yards, about to get sacked, and he just throws it up, and Marvin catches it. It's not like the 49ers were thoroughly beat by Arizona. A bunch of things had to happen. Moody had to get hurt. You had to have the wild Purdy interceptions, the Jordan Mason red zone fumble, the crazy Kyler Murray play. If they had gone out there and gotten, manhandled, yeah, I would say we got a problem. But things like that happened. I'm honestly not worried because they were the better team on the field today. They just made too many mistakes.
I'll tell you where they made the biggest mistake. Red zone attempts. 6 attempts. They were successful on 1.
Yes.
17% in the red zone.
That'll do it.
That's a huge problem. And usually they would rely on Christian McCaffrey. Or
their kicker. Some of that was like I know they went for 1 4th down and didn't get it, where normally they would kick the field goal.
But also, coming into this game, the Cardinals had one of the worst rush defenses in the league. So we anticipated that Jordan Mason would have a great game, and he wasn't able to find the end zone. It's concerning to me that all this talent circles the offense of the 49ers. You got Brock Purdy standing in the pocket, scrambling around for 11 seconds. They made sure we knew that. I think it was Mark Sanchez on the call, but he counted down with a little time clock. 11 seconds that Brock Purdy scrambled around just to end in a sack. You have George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Jordan Mason. Those 4 guys are better than most offensive rosters across the league. So why are you struggling in the red zone? What do you think watching this game do you think stood out to you the most? Was it just the play calling? Was it not relying on the run as much? What was it?
Man, I'm not trying to like just reiterate. I really just think it's mistakes. Like if you go back and like pay attention to the game and the way the drives handle, it's just a couple like drives that end in mistakes, because the first quarter, San Fran puts up 10. The second quarter, they put up 13. They were shut out in the second half. But again, like I said, Jordan Mason fumbles like with 6 minutes left in the game when they're literally about to score. They went for it on a 4th down in the red zone because they didn't have their kicker. They couldn't just take the 3 points. I don't think one of the interceptions happened in the red zone. They might have. It's just like mistakes that aren't typical of the 49ers. This isn't a team we see do that every week.
You say that, and coming out of the half, there are 4 drives. Drive number 1, interception. Drive number 2, turnover on downs. Drive number 3, fumble. And number 4, interception.
So there you go. That's it. And the first interception was a tipped ball. Like it wasn't like he threw a bad pass. It got tipped. A guy made a great play. What was the second drive? Turnover on downs.
Yep.
So that's where normally they would have kicked the field goal, which would have won them the game. But if you look at the scoreboard, but Jake Moody was out. The third drive was the fumble when they're literally about to score a touchdown. I mean, they drove the ball at will. And then the fourth one, they got the ball with 1:50 or whatever. So Purdy's trying to go on a 2-minute game-winning drive. And it gets picked because he gets hit right when he's throwing it. It's just, this isn't one of those games you can watch and be like, oh no, it's panic time. It's just one of those games where a couple things go wrong. I don't think this is a dominant 49ers team like last year that's going to cruise control to the Super Bowl, but I'm not writing them off just yet. I think they're going to be okay.
I'm not writing them off, but I am starting to sound the alarm just a little bit, because week 5, you should have a winning record by week 5. From the teams that you've played, you should have a winning record by now, even with your biggest asset out with Christian McCaffrey. I think you have what it takes to be a successful team. It's time to regroup. I know Shanahan's going to do it. He's too good of a coach not to. I look forward to the 49ers winning a lot more games this year, but right now, I'm just a little bit concerned.